हेलो एवरीवन, दिस इज शालिनी। वेलकम टू द लीगल लेंस। आज की सीरीज़ में हम जनरल साइंस में फिज़िक्स के क्वेश्चंस वन लाइनर फॉर्म में देखेंगे, जो हर एग्ज़ाम्स में लगभग फ़िज़िक्स से 2-4 मार्क्स के क्वेश्चंस बनते हैं हर कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्ज़ाम्स में। तो हम इन क्वेश्चंस को वन लाइनर फॉर्म में देखेंगे। सो स्टार्ट करते हैं हम अपने पहले टॉपिक से। हमारा पहला टॉपिक है यूनिट्स एंड डायमेंशंस, जिसमें पहला क्वेश्चन है व्हाट इज़ द यूनिट ऑफ पावर। पावर की यूनिट है वॉट। व्हाट इज़ द यूनिट ऑफ फोर्स। फोर्स की यूनिट न्यूटन होती है। व्हाट इज़ द यूनिट ऑफ वर्क। वर्क की यूनिट जूल है। लाइट ईयर इज़ द यूनिट ऑफ डिस्टेंस। पार्सेक इज़ द यूनिट ऑफ डिस्टेंस। लाइट ईयर और पार्सेक दोनों डिस्टेंस की यूनिट है। नेक्स्ट है 1 नैनोमीटर इज इक्वल टू 10⁻⁻6 सेंटीमीटर। एम्पियर इज द यूनिट ऑफ इलेक्ट्रिक करंट। 1 माइक्रोन इज इक्वल टू 10/1000 mm. What is the unit of atmospheric pressure? It's bar. 1 barrel of oil is equal to 169 liter. The smallest unit of length is Fermi meter. Curie is the unit of radioactivity. The most suitable unit for expressing nuclear radius is Fermi. Maxwell is the unit of magnetic flux. Unit of solid angle is steradian. Next is the SI unit of mechanical power is watt. 1 kilowatt hour is equal to 10.6 megajoule. Curie is the unit of radioactivity. The unit of electrical power is watt. नेक्स्ट टॉपिक है मोशन, फ्रिक्शन एंड वर्क एनर्जी पावर से, जिसमें फर्स्ट क्वेश्चन है हाउ मेनी वॉट्स आर देयर इन अ हॉर्स पावर, दैट इज 746। नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन है वाई इज इट डिफिकल्ट टू वॉक ऑन द आइस देन ऑन द रोड, बिकॉज आइस हैज़ अ लेसर फ्रिक्शन देन रोड. For every action, there is an equal and opposite reaction. Who gave this law? It's Newton. The rate of change of movement of a body is equal to the resultant of force. Next, definition of force comes from Newton's first law of motion. The working principle of washing machine is centrifugation. The dimension of dash is the same as that of impulse, that is momentum. The dimension of momentum is the same as that of impulse. Next है time is dash quantity, its fundamental quantity. Next is while catching a ball, a player pulls down his hand to lower it's called momentum. If the velocity time graph of a particle is represented by y equal to mt plus c, then particles is moving with constant acceleration. Next is a passenger standing in a bus is thrown outward when the bus takes a sudden turn. This happens due to inertia of motion. For a body moving with non-uniform velocity and uniform acceleration, it's time graph displacement. What should a person on a freely rotating turntable do to decrease his angular speed? Spread his hands up. The weakest of all fundamental forces is gravitational force. Velocity of sound in air does not change with the change of pressure of air. The function of ball bearing in wheel is to convert kinetic friction into rolling friction. Velocity of sound is more in steel. A bullet is fired from a rifle which recoils after firing. The ratio of kinetic energy of a rifle to that of bullet is 0. The Newton's first law is also called as law of inertia. Next is a stone is dropped from the roof of a house towards the ground. The kinetic energy of stone will be the maximum just before it touches the ground. Next question is rocket works on the principle of Newton's third law. The apparent weight of a man in a lift is less than the real weight when the lift is going down with an acceleration. Next question is, railway tracks are banked on curves so that necessary centripetal forces may be obtained from the horizontal component of the normal reaction due to track. Next question is, rail, railway tracks are banked on curves so that necessary centripetal forces may be obtained from the horizontal component of the normal reaction due to track. A bullet of mass m and velocity a is fired in a large block of wood of mass m. The final velocity of system is m by m plus capital M into a. नेक्स्ट टॉपिक है हमारा ग्रेविटेशन, प्रेशर, फ्लोटेशन एंड सरफेस टेंशन, जिसमें पहला क्वेश्चन है, हु गेव द थ्योरी ऑफ ग्रेविटी? इट्स बाय इसैक न्यूटन. At what part of Earth the weight of human body is maximum? At the poles. What is the Earth's escape velocity? 11.2 km per second. Next is, oil spreads on water surface because surface tension of oil is less than water. At what temperature density of water is maximum? It's on 4 degrees centigrade. The time taken to reach the sunlight up to the surface of Earth is approximately 8.5 minutes. Next is, Joule is related to energy in the same way as Pascal is related to pressure. Dirty clothes containing grease and oil stains are cleaned by adding detergents to water. Stains are removed because detergent reduces drastically the surface tension between water and oil. Next is, weightlessness experienced in spaceship is due to absence of gravity. If the distance between two masses is doubled, the gravitational attraction between them is reduced to a quarter. Next question. As we go from the equator to poles, the value of G increases. Soap bubbles attain spherical shape due to surface tension. Next question is, on which principle does the hydraulic lift works? It's on Pascal's law. Which scientist discovered the law of floating? Archimedes. When pure water boils vigorously, the bubbles that rise to the surface are composed primarily of hydrogen and oxygen. Next is, if a stream of air blown under one of the pans of a physical balance in equilibrium, then the pan will go down. Two capillary tubes of different diameters are dipped in water. The rise of water is greater in tube of small diameter. If the diameter of capillary is doubled, then the rise of water in it will be half. Surface tension in a liquid is due to adhesive force between molecules. Next is, what principle explains the working of the hydraulic brakes in automobiles? It's Pascal's law. Oil rises due to wick in a lamp because of the capillary action phenomena. Next is, the mass energy relations is the outcome of special theory of relative. Boyle's law is a relationship between pressure and volume. The sensation of weightlessness in a spacecraft in orbit is due to the acceleration in the orbit, which is equal to the acceleration due to gravity outside. Water pipes in hilly areas often burst on a cold, frosty night because water in the pipes freeze, and on freezing water expands, so pipe breaks. Next is, the spoon dropped by an astronaut in a satellite will continue to flow the motion of satellite. When a body is taken from Earth to Moon, weight changes but the mass remains same. Next is, if a boy sitting in a train which is moving at a constant velocity throws a ball straight up it falls into his hand. Intensity of gravitational field of Earth is maximum at poles. Next question is, the period of revolution of geostationary satellite is 24 hours. A vacuum cleaner works on a principle of pressure difference. On the Moon, it will not work at all. Damp clothes are dried in a spin dryer by the action of centrifugal forces. Next is, sprayer functions on the basis of Bernoulli's principle. Rise of oil in wick is due to surface tension of the oil. The 4-stroke petrol engine is based on Kyoto cycle. Water boils at a lower temperature on the hills because there is a decrease in air pressure on the hills. The minimum number of geostationary satellites needed for uninterrupted global coverage is 3. The height of a geostationary satellite from the Earth's surface is approximately 36,000 kilometers. Next is hydraulic brakes work on the principle of Pascal's law. Next topic है viscosity, elasticity, waves and simple harmonic motion. First question is, on which factor the time period of pendulum depends on its length. A radar which detects the presence of an enemy aircraft uses radio waves. Next is, the waves used in a common TV remote control are infrared rays. FM broadcasting service uses the range of frequency between 88 to 108 MHz. CT scan is done by using X-rays. Next question is, a biotechnique in which ultrasonic sound is used, it's sonography. Decibel unit is used to measure the intensity of sound. A simple pendulum in oscillating in a lift, if the lift starts moving upward with a uniform acceleration, the period will be shorter. Next question is, ultrasonic waves are used for steering liquid solution because they can produce perfectly homogeneous solution. Who first predicted the existence of electromagnetic waves? It's Maxwell. Which wave is used for communication by artificial satellite? It's microwaves. Next question is, what is found in frequency modulation? It's fixed frequency. The plastic material commonly used for making gear wheels is nylons. Next question is, ultraviolet radiations of the sun do not reach the Earth because Earth's atmosphere is surrounded by ozone. Which wave is used in oven? It's microwave. Colles tube is used to produce X-rays. Next question is, speed of sound is the greatest in glass. In a refrigerator, what produces the cooling? It's freon or tetrafluoroethene. Next is, solar energy is converted into chemical energy during photosynthesis. What is the wavelength of visible spectrum? It's 9. What is the wavelength of visible spectrum? It's 3900 Armstrong to 7600 Armstrong. When a vehicle passes, TV reception gets distorted. This is because spark plug creates electromagnetic disturbances. Dynamo is a device for converting mechanical energy into chemical energy. Lambert's law is related to interference. Energy of ultraviolet rays is greater than infrared rays. Next is, what is the full form of AM regarding radio broadcasting? It's amplitude modulation. The modulus of rigidity is the ratio of shearing stress to shearing strain. If input frequency of a full wave rectifier be n, then output frequency would be 2n. Next is, noise is measured in decibel. The bats can fly in the dark because they generate ultrasonic sound waves. The frequency of ultrasound waves is typically below 20 kHz. Shock absorbers are usually made of steel as it has higher elasticity. The time period of second pendulum is 2 seconds. When a vibrating tuning fork is placed on a table, a loud sound is heard. This is due to forced vibrations. Next is, when a person sitting on a swing stands up on the swing, the frequency of oscillation is increases. To measure the speed of an approaching car, a police officer shines radio waves on it. Next is, forged documents are detected by ultraviolet rays. Next is, waves that are required for long distances wireless communication are radio waves. Which waves cannot be transmitted through vacuum? It's sound. The layer of atmosphere used for radio waves transmission is ionosphere. In the remote control of television, electromagnetic waves used are infrared. The wavelength at which the peak of intensity of black body radiation occurs decreases with increase in temperature. Next is a liquid disturbed by stirring comes to rest due to viscosity. Matter waves are de Broglie waves. Next is when a body is immersed in a liquid, the force acting on it is upthrust mass. Stationary wave is formed by two waves of same frequency traveling in opposite directions. Next is the work done by the string of a simple pendulum during one complete oscillation is equal to 0. The waves used in sonography is ultrasonic waves. Which property of sound is affected by change in air? It air temperature, its wavelength. Next topic is heat, light and rainbow formation. First है a, a cut diamond shines brilliantly due to total internal reflection. The color of the star is an indication of its temperature. Blue color of sky is due to scattering of lights. In human eye, image of object forms at retina. Which primary color produces different shades on TV screen? Red, green and blue. Next is the body temperature of a healthy man is 37 degree Celsius. The normal temperature of human body on the Kelvin scale is 310 Kelvin. Thermostat is related to humidity. The normal temperature of human body is 98.4 Fahrenheit. Its equivalent temperature in Celsius is 36.89 Celsius. The absolute zero is the temperature at which molecular motion in a gas would cease. The range of platinum resistance thermometer is from minus 200 degree centigrade to 1200 degree centigrade. Mercury thermometer can be used to measure temperature up to 360 degree centigrade. Who invented the mercury thermometer? It's D.G. Fahrenheit. Fahrenheit scale divides two fixed points into 180 parts. If a non-volatile solid is added to water, its boiling point will increase. When an object is heated, the molecules of that object begins to move faster. Next is, if the temperature scale is changed from the degree centigrade to Fahrenheit, the numerical value of specified heat will decrease. Glaciers always melt at bottom first. The first law of thermodynamics is connected with the conservation of energy. Next is the name of the process of converting gas into liquid is condensation. Next is two blocks of ice when pressed together join to form one block because melting point of ice decreases with increase of pressure. If the temperature inside a room is increased, the relative humidity will decrease. Next is in a cyclic process, the change in the internal energy of system is zero. The thermal conductivity of a plate depends on the thickness of plate. Next is the process in which no heat enters or leaves the system is termed as adiabatic. When water is heated from 0 degree centigrade to 10 degree centigrade, its volume first decreases and then increases. Which color of heat radiation represents the highest temperature? It's white. Metal teapots have wooden handles because wood is the bad conductor of heat. After a hot sunny day, people sprinkle water on the rooftop because water has a large latent heat of vaporization. The mass of a star is 2 times the mass of the sun. How it will come to an end? It's neutron star. When we see rainbow, the sun remains behind us and we face the raindrops. The splitting of different colors of light in a prism is dispersion of light. Optic fibers are used in endoscopy. The snow on the mountain does not melt all at once when it is heated by the sun because it reflects most of the heat from the sun. Next is holography is a technique of a permanent three-dimensional photography of a given single color or multicolor. An ice block with a piece of lead embedded in its floats in water level remains same. What is the color of light related to? Amplitude. Clear night are colder than cloudy night because of radiation. Next is the speed of light with the rise of in the temperature of the medium remains unaltered. Next is the term equinox means when the day and the night are equal duration. When metal is used for the manufacture of heating elements provided in electronic iron, it's nichrome. The term isoneph indicates the line of equal cloudiness. Next is cryogenics is the science dealing with low temperature. Danger signals are generally read as red light. It undergoes least deviation. Simple microscope consists of a short focus convex lens. Fiber optics works on the principle of total internal absorption. The metal used to make lightning conductor is copper. Next is in a rechargeable cell, what kind of energy is stored within the cell? It's chemical energy. Specific heat capacity of water is 4.184 joules. The oldest type of energy known to men is geothermal energy. Next is energy that is produced commercially from the coal is called thermal energy. The reason for a swimming pool to appear less deep than the actual depth is refraction. Next is when a person walking in a bright sunlight enters a dark room, he is not able to see clearly for a little while because the iris is unable to dilate the pupil immediately. Next is ventilators are provided near the ceiling of the room because the exhaled warmer air rises up and goes out. In severe winter in cold countries, water pipes burst because water expands on freezing. Next is the strongest force in nature is nuclear force. Heat transferring horizontally within the atmosphere is called advection. Mirage is an example of refraction and total internal reflection of light. Next question is lens is made up of flint glass. Lakes freeze in cold countries in winter, leaving the water underneath at 4 degrees centigrade. Eclipse occurs due to which optical phenomena? Rectilinear propagation. Next is in a railway track, two rails are joined end to end with a gap in between them because accidents due to expansion in summer can be avoided. Mud houses are cooler in summers and warmer in winters as compared to brick houses because mud is bad conductor. Mud is a bad conductor. Myopia is same as nearsightedness. Sun's heat reaches us by radiation. Next is hypermetropia or long sight can be corrected by using convex lens. A copper disc has a hole. If the disc is heated, the size of the hole increases. The part of eye having the largest refractive index is lens. Next is conversion of heat into electrical energy is achieved by using thermocouple. The primary colors in photography are red, yellow and blue. The characteristics invalid for heat radiation is that it travels with the speed of light. Persistence of vision is the principle behind cinema. Next is time of exposure required for taking photography of an object depends upon the brightness of the object. Outside of cooking utensils are generally left black from below because black surface is good absorber of heat. The color of sky appears blue due to scattering of shorter wave lengths. Centigrade and Fahrenheit temperature are the same at 40 degree centigrade. The sky appears blue due to relief scattering. Next is the word insolation means incoming solar radiation. Next is define the term heat budget. It is the balance between incoming and outgoing radiation. Which color of light deviates least through prism? It's red. Which color of light travels in glass with minimum velocity? It's violet light. Next is which phenomenon helps to conclude that light is a transverse waves? It's polarization. Blowing air with open pipe is an example of isobaric process. A cycle tire bursts suddenly. This represents an adiabatic process. Next topic is static electricity, current electricity and magnetism. First question is the filament of an electric bulb is made of tungsten. In a 3-pin electric plug, longest pin should be connected to ground terminal. Next is the filament of a halogen lamp is an alloy of tungsten and sodium. What gases are used in fluorescent tube? It's mercury and neon. What is the source of electricity energy is an artificial satellite? Is solar cells. On which technique photostat machine works? It's on electrostatic image making. Electrostatic precipitator is used to control the pollution of air. Magnetism in materials is due to circular motion of electrons. Next is a multimeter is used to measure current, voltage and resistance. Circuit element used to block DC in an electronic circuit is capacitance. The fuse in our domestic electric circuit melts when there is a high rise in interference. A photoelectric cell converts light energy to electric energy. The device used to change the spread of an electronic fan is regulator. Next question is Curie points is the temperature at which a metal loses magnetic properties. A transformer works on the principle of mutual induction. Next is when a bar magnet is cut into two equal halves, the sole strength of each piece remains the same. In MRI machine, which waves are used? Magnetic waves. Refrigeration is a process which slows down the bacterial growth. Next is electric current is a metal wire is due to the flow of electrons. Necessary element of change in solar energy to electric energy is silicon. Tape recorder should not be kept near magnet. Mica is a good conductor of heat but a bad conductor of electricity. A photostat machine works on the principle of electrostatic image making. Lightning is caused due to electric discharge. Which metal has highest electrical conductivity? It's silver. Ocean currents are example of convection. If a copper wire is increased to double its length, its resistance will become double. The important unit of microprocessors is array of resistors. The resistance of human body dry condition is the order of 1 lakh ohm. A device which is used to limit the current in an electrical circuit is called fuse. The earth wire of a cable is connected to fuse of appliance. Next is water cannot be used to extinguish fire caused by electric current because it may cause electrocution. Moving electric charge produces magnetic field. The best material for the core of a transformer is soft iron. In AC circuits, AC meters measures RMS value. Next is what is a good conductor of electricity? It's salt water. A fuse wire is made up of an alloy of tin and copper. A transformer works with alternating current. Next is Direct conversion of solar energy with the use of photovoltaic cell results in the production of electrical energy. Metal teapots have wooden handles because it prevents electric shocks. Mica is good conductor of heat but the bad conductor of electricity. For which substance the resistance decreases with the increase in temperature is nichrome. Next is hydroelectric power is a renewable energy source. Full form of CFL used in place of electric bulbs is compact fluorescent lamp. Next is the resistance of wire is directly proportional to the resistivity of material and the area of cross section while inversely proportional to length of wire. Solar cells works on the principle of photovoltaic effect. Next is microphone is a device which transforms the sound signals into current signals. The dynamo converts mechanical energy into electrical energy. A wire carrying current is neutral. Next is the method of magnetization is hammering a magnet. In a water lifting electric pump, we convert electric energy into potential energy. The earth is a good absorber and good radiator of heat. Magnetic keepers are pieces of soft iron. Next is certain substances lose their electrical resistance completely at super low temperature. Such substances are called superconductors. A NOT gate can be implemented by the single transistors. Next is farad is a unit of capacitance. Ohm's law is a valid in case of conductor. The laser is a beam of radiations which are coherent and monochromatic. Magnetic keepers are used to protect magnets from self-demagnetization. A current-carrying conductor is associated with an electromagnetic field. Tesla is a unit of magnetic field. The damage of the human body due to radiation is measured in REM, Roentgen equivalent men. Superconductors are substances that offer minimum resistance to flow of electric current. In a conductor, the valence band and the conduction band overlap each other. If a wire of resistance R is melting and recast to half of its length, then the new resistance of the wire will be R by 4. Electrostatic potential is scalar quantity. The purpose of choke in a fluorescent lamp is to decrease the current flow. Next is when number of turns into a coil is tripled without any change in the length of coil, its self-induction becomes 9 times. SI unit of magnetic flux is Weber. Next is in electronics, what comes under tank circuit? Its capacitance and inductance. The radiation initially produced in fluorescent tube is ultraviolet. Next topic is atomic and nuclear physics, electronics, जिसमें पहला है the energy of sun is released due to nuclear fusion. The stars receive their energy from which process? Nuclear fusion. Hydrogen bomb is based on the principle of uncontrolled fusion reaction. Which is India's first atomic power station? It's Tarapur Atomic Power Station. What is the fuel used in fast breeder test reactor at Kalpakkam? It's plutonium uranium. Graphite is used in the nuclear reactor as moderator. For which diode is used? Purification. Who developed the technology of underground nuclear explosion? It's Dr. Homi Jahangir Bhabha. Which type of coal produces most heat per unit? It's anthracite. Next is which diode is used for regulated electric supply? It's Zener diode. The substance which conducts current in the solid state is graphite. Which glass is used for making sunglasses? Crookes glass. Where are mesons found? It's cosmic rays. What is the reason for twinkling of stars? Atmospheric refraction. The instrument for measuring intensity of earthquakes is called seismography. Superconductors are those elements whose conductivity is intermediate between metals and insulators. Which layer of Earth's atmosphere reflects back to radio waves to the Earth's surface? Its ionosphere. Name the process of production of energy in the Sun is nuclear fission. In a nuclear reactor, uranium is used as fuel. Max Planck unveiled the quantum theory in 1900. Next is the audio signals of TV are frequency modulated. Red light is used for signals because it has long wavelength. Next is the device which transfers the signal from low resistance region to high resistance region is transmitter, transistor. Radioactivity is due to unstable nucleus. Negative feedback in amplifiers increases bandwidth and decreases noise. In the nuclear reactor, heavy water is used as moderator. Next is the width of depletion layer of p-n junction is increased under reverse bias. A radioactive substance does not undergo any change during gamma emission. Next is radioactive elements can be traced out in living cell through a technique called autoradiography. A television channel is characterized by frequency of transmitted signal. In a radio communication, the signals emitted by transmitting antenna are reflected on ionosphere. Dash supports particle nature of photons, its photoelectric effect. When two semiconductors of p and n type are brought in a contact, they form p-n junction which acts like a rectifier. Next topic है scientific instruments, inventions and discoveries, जिसमें sonar is mostly used by navigators. Pyrometer is used to measure high temperature. The density of milk can be obtained by use of which device? Its lactometer. Next is hygrometer is used to measure humidity in atmosphere. What does a seismograph record? Earthquake. Who has invented the safety razor? Kingsley Gillette. Next is who discovered wireless communication? It's Marconi. Which apparatus is used to locate a submerged object? It's sonar. The instruments that measures and record the relative humidity of air is hygrometer. Instrument used to measure the force and velocity of the wind is anemometer. Electron microscope was invented by Nolan Rusk. The device which converts AC to DC is rectifier. Which instrument is used to study dispersion of light? It's spectrometer. Pinometer is an instrument used to measure density. Which instrument is used to measure humidity? It's sling psychometer. Bolometry is used to measure temperature or electromagnetic radiations. ATM stands for automatic teller machines. The scientist who first sent electromagnetic waves to distant place is Thomas Alva Edison. The device which converts sound energy into electrical energy is microphone. Who enunciated the laws of planetary motion? It's Johannes Kepler. Next is tear gas used by police to disperse the mob contains chlorine. A bottle of soda lime is grasped by neck and swung briskly in vertical circle. Near which portion of bottle do the bubbles collect? Near the neck. Next is flight recorder is technically called black box. CRT is used for display. Property generally found in non-metals is brittleness. A wave form of a certain signal can be studied by sonometer. In astrophysics, what name is given to a hypothetical hole in outer space from which stars and energy emit? It's called white hole. Next is the term reactor referred to in wastewater treatment is aeration tank. The device used for measuring the wavelength of X-rays is Bragg spectrometer. Which device is used to detect radiant heat? It's thermophile. The abbreviation LHC stands for which machine? It's Large Hadron Collider. सो दिस इज़ ऑल फॉर टुडे. नेक्स्ट वीडियो में हम केमिस्ट्री के वन लाइनर क्वेश्चन को डिस्कस करेंगे. तब तक के लिए कीप प्रिपेयरिंग, कीप शाइनिंग, कीप लर्निंग. ऑल द बेस्ट. थैंक यू.